We know that Starbase is coming soon, but how long are we really going to have to wait to get our hands on this upcoming ambitious game? Today I'll be discussing Starbase in a bit more detail, but also talking about the upcoming early access release for the game. Let's go! Hey everyone, my name is Captain Jack and welcome back to my channel. As mentioned, today we're talking more about Starbase. Thanks to all of those who messaged me asking for more videos about this game. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten about it. I just didn't want to make videos for the sake of views when there was actually nothing new to talk about. Basically, I didn't want to waste your time. However, today I wanted to talk about the early access of Starbase and what the release of that might be like, but also how we shouldn't overhype the game too much. Don't panic, I'll explain more as we get into the video. Quick one before I begin, if you want to join me in Starbase when the game does release, then you can come and join my faction, Redwood Industries, via our own Discord server using the link in the description. Once you're in a server, you can claim a free custom Discord rank to show your affiliation with RWI and myself. We're in the process of recruiting loyal and trusted members to help us found a faction inside of Starbase, so who knows, maybe you'll be helping me very soon. I certainly hope so. Since I last spoke about Starbase, probably about a month ago now, the developers have released a few videos about gameplay, specifically combat gameplay. Something we've all been looking forward to. The combat is very cool, but instead of me talking about it, I'll leave some of it on screen now while I chat, and also the full video is linked in the description below, should you want to watch it yourself. I do recommend you do. Now my main topic today is the early access release of Starbase, and why we should slow down the hype train a bit. Before you hurry to the comments and slam me for daring to suggest that, please watch the whole video as I'll make my point clear. Recently, through social media channels and Discord, I've seen many asking, when is Starbase going to release? Or what is the exact date it's going to be released? There is nothing wrong with asking this, as I, along with many of you, are really looking forward to when this game eventually comes out. Frozen Byte, the developers, are taking an ambitious and a bold new step in this type of game, something which has intrigued us all. Now, what usually follows these comments after the user has been told that the answer is 2019 or soon TM, as in that's the only time frame we currently have for an early access release, is a common theme of this comment. I'm seeing a lot of the following: I wish they'd hurry up, why can't they tell us a date, and they should just release it now, why wait any longer? There are many variations, but these are the comments I frequently see throughout social media and Discord when people are told there is no key date for Starbase. There is nothing wrong with asking a question if you don't know, but what I find odd is the responses I mentioned above. Let's take a look at what in my opinion I think would be a bad for Frozen Byte, the developers of Starbase, to give us a fixed date on when the game should move to early access. In 2019, modern games media and the internet can be very brutal around a game's launch phase. In the last 3 years, we've seen multiple large titles fail at the launch window for their game, either due to errors, the game not being fully ready, or promised features absent from a released game. To name a few, we've seen big studios like EA, who were quite big, with Star Wars Battlefront 2, Battlefield 5 and Anthem all having drastically bad launches. Sure, some of those games have recovered by now, most notably Battlefront 2, but it's not been the smoothest ride. This is why Frozen Byte must get their launch for early access correct, and it's also why I believe they are taking more time to carefully plan, and should do. If a game's launch is bad for a giant like EA, imagine what it can do to a studio like Frozen Byte and with a game like Starbase. In the last 10 years of video games, we've seen quite a few ambitious sci-fi titles come around. Many you probably already know of. If Starbase was to pop up and say October 11th release date, for example, that would be great for us as players, but I believe it would put the studio under pressure. Pressure to work and have everything they need to have ready by that day. At the moment, the developers can chug along nicely with the development of their game without worrying about meeting a public release date. They're not going to disappoint anyone. There's most likely an internal rough estimate date for when Frozen Byte would like Starbase to move to early access, but saying that is not public, it makes life easy on the developers. Kinda. What I'm trying to say in this video is although we've only got 2019 as a date to go by, or soon TM if you're that type of person, it's not necessarily a bad thing. While you may really want an exact date, so do I, you have to think how it could impact the development of the game. If Starbase releases too soon, and the game's early access launch is quite bad, they will taint the game for a long time, which would be super bad for a title like Starbase, considering it's ambitious with what it aims to provide players with. The last thing the developers want is a stigma surrounding their game when it's so early point in its life cycle. It could heavily impact them for the future, if that is the case. I hope my point is becoming clear in this video. My intention is not to derail the hype train with Starbase, as I'm personally excited for it, but more to add some extra vision and clarity to why it's good to slow down and look at the bigger picture sometimes when thinking about games like Starbase. Think about it like this: the more the game stays in development at this stage, the better. You might be thinking, well Jack, that's a terrible idea. Is it though? I mean, none of us have handed over money for this game just yet, even though some of us are really eager to. Personally, I'm going to say it. I wouldn't be too worried if Starbase was delayed till 2020, as the developers might want to spend more time with it in-house. In-house development is sometimes a lot better than, say, early access development. Many studios have agreed with this over the couple of years, so, there you go. Hopefully that's not the case though, and with the fact that developers have mentioned they're still aiming for a 2019 release, we're likely to see the game later this year, at least in the next 2 months is my prediction. Thinking about when the game will be released, as many of you have asked me, my estimate is late October, early November, hopefully when I'm not away. Now that kind of rounds off my video today. Hopefully those of you who watch the video understand my point on not overhyping the game for the sake of just wanting it. I hope with patience that Starbase does come to early access, and it'll be in a good state that we can enjoy it and help the developers build a truly remarkable game that will stand for many years. Speaking of which, I know many of you appreciate my videos on Starbase, and I'm very thankful for that. So therefore, I would like to help you learn as much about the game as possible. Starting today, for a future video, if you have any questions about the game, then feel free to ask me in the comment section of this video. In my next Starbase video, very soon, I'll choose a few questions from the community, research them, and then do my best to provide you with an accurate answer to the question. I may even take some to the developers if I get the chance, so feel free to ask some stuff down below and I'll try and get it answered. So there we go, that's my wrap on the Starbase video for today. Bit of a short one, I know, but I just wanted to cover this topic. Do let me know what you thought of my opinions and thoughts in the comment section below. Oh, and don't forget you can come and join my Discord server for our info on our Starbase faction, which of course you're all invited to come and join. Pop by and visit us and we'll be able to help you out. Remember to subscribe for more content and I will see you next time. Goodbye.